high stone walls. And a horseshoe of rugged hills gave Brushy Mountain the reputation as a place impossible to escape for long.
The mountains are more of a prison than the prison is. There's only one way in and one way out, and that's the mouth of the valley through Petros.
You know, people do anything to try to escape. And if you'll notice, you can see this is where the screen wire is. One night, 5 other guys decided they were going to escape. They'd take a sheet and knot it up, and they fixed it where they could swing it up there and hook in up there. So they was trying to escape that night. And the guards, and they come in on them. And one of the statements one of them made says, don't shoot, you can't blame a man for trying.
Some wardens portrayed the prison as Tennessee's Alcatraz, but people escaped from Brushy Mountain Prison all the time because inmates were not just kept in a cage. They were constantly moving back and forth to the prison's farm a few miles away and up to the coal mines.
There were convicts up and down the mountain.
A search of the Knoxville newspapers from 1922 to 2009 shows hundreds of articles about killers on the run from the prison in Petros. They escaped on foot, they stole cars. One inmate was even on the lam on a stolen mule. They did whatever they could to get away from the abuse and a deadly job in the coal mines.
Geologically, I would not be digging and tunneling here. This is shale right here, and as you can see, very easy to break.
Cave-ins were common, where they had to blast coal free with dynamite.
Whoa!
But in 1938, the prisoners blasted their way to freedom by tunneling their way in the mines clear to the other side of the mountain. Not only did you have 38 convicts on the loose, they had dynamite. Many times the average citizen would capture inmates on their property, but some families would lock their doors and actually put food and clothes outside. So if a fugitive came along, they'd get what they needed and keep moving, instead of robbing the family or taking anyone hostage. Through the years, some escapees from Brushy committed violent crimes against innocent people in their path. William Tynes broke out of Brushy and then broke into a house in Harriman and raped a woman. That crime sent him to the electric chair. Catching convicts could be lethal. Many guards and police died trying to bring inmates back to prison. And in some cases, the prisoners killed the guards to make their escape.
He hollered out, "Shoot him."
In 2005, prisoner George Hyatt was at the Roane County Courthouse when his wife shot and killed Wayne Cotton Morgan, a longtime guard who was well-liked and just a couple of years from retirement. The Hyatts escaped.
I want to sign an extradition.
Police captured them the next day in Ohio. Now a permanent memorial for Cotton Morgan stands at the new prison in Morgan County.
He had an impact on everybody he came in contact with. He's still in our hearts and our prayers every day. I mean, you don't forget somebody like Cotton.
A lot of times the fugitives did not have to make a daring or violent escape. Many were on minimum security for good behavior and given jobs as trustees.
Meaning they trusted him to do tasks that they wouldn't have the average convict doing, driving vehicles, trucks, operating heavier machinery.
And for some trustees, the temptation to take off was just too much.
I kept my doors locked.
The minimum security inmate stole a prison van and escaped while on a work detail at the county fairgrounds.
There's no indication that he's going to exhibit any violence out here. I think he just wants to get away.
Just to please turn yourself in, and we're all really worried.
Loved ones publicly begged fugitives to stop running. But other times, trustees escaped to settle family affairs. In 1950, an inmate found out his wife wanted a divorce, so he sped in a prison truck to his hometown of Jellicoe and drove through the wall of the restaurant where she was a waitress. But instead of killing his wife, he killed a World War II veteran eating lunch. The escapes and the conclusions could be dramatic. Other times, prisoners quietly came back on their own. In 1932, a homesick convict escaped through the mountains to try to make it home for the holidays. But after drudging through the unforgiving terrain, he was so exhausted, he decided he'd prefer to spend Christmas in prison.
Of course, many have tried to go up over the mountains and get out, and we know that didn't fare too well for most of them.
Now, he was not the only prisoner to beat these walls, but not be able to beat the mountain. That includes the most infamous inmate in the history of this prison, James Earl Ray, the man who shot and killed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Stay with us for that as we continue our series back to Brushy Mountain.